Namaste, myself Dr. Hemavati. Welcome you all for the session 12 on ordinary differential equations. In this session we are going to study how to find the particular integral of a linear differential equation with constant coefficient. Let f of d of y is equal to x be a given equation. Take this one as equation number 1. Then the expression 1 by f of d of x is defined to be that function of x which when operated upon by f of d gives x. So therefore the operator 1 by f of d is the inverse operator of f of d. Thus this 1 by d of x is equal to integration of x into dx. Here we have some different cases of x. When x is, let us take one by one. First one, particular integral when x is in the form of e raised to ax and where a is constant. Let us take particular integral is equals to 1 by f of d e raised to ax. So here what you have to do is here you just replace d by a. Then it will become 1 by f of a into e raised to ax. This is the case when f of a is not equals to 0. Take this one as formula 1. Only thing is you just replace d by a in the denominator, that is f of d. This is possible only when f of a is after substitution, f of a should not be 0. And if f of a becomes 0, then there are two cases arises. First one is case 1. If f of d is equals to d minus a raised to n. So that is here if you substitute d equals to a, it becomes 0. So where n equals to 1 to 3 etc. Then particular integral is equals to 1 by f of d into e raised to ax, which is equals to 1 by here f of d is d minus a raised to n e raised to ax. If it is in this form, that is e raised to ax divided by d minus a raised to n, here this a, here we have d minus, if e raised to ax into d minus a raised to n, then its the particular integral is can be written as here x raised to n divided by factorial n e raised to ax. Take this one as second formula. We have a long derivation for this. I think derivation is not necessary. You just take this formula directly because nowhere this derivation will be asked in the examination. So this is d minus 1 by d minus a whole raised to n e raised to ax is equals to, you take directly here, this is n, it is x to the power of n divided by factorial n e raised to ax. This is the case when the denominator f of d is d minus a raised to n. So we have one more case also. If f of d is d minus a raised to r into phi of d. So one term becomes 0 after substitution, d equals to a, this term becomes 0 and this term will not become 0. In that case, so we have here phi of a is not equal to this one. Phi of a is, that is here after substitution d equals to a, it should not become 0 and r equals to 1 to 3 etc. So now here particular integral is equals to particular integral of 1 by f of d e raised to ax will be, it will be 1 by d minus a raised to r phi of d e raised to ax. So that is here if you substitute, we know the rule for e raised to ax divided by f of d is you have to replace d by a. So here if you replace d by a, this term becomes 0. So for that you have to keep this one as it is. Only you have to change here, you have to put d equals to a in this. So it becomes 1 by d minus a raised to r, 1 by phi of a into e raised to ax. And this 1 by phi of a is constant. It will become constant because here you have to e raised to a is constant. Now if you replace d by a, this whole term becomes constant. You take this one as it is. And it will be now 1 divided by d minus a raised to r into e raised to x. It is like previous formula. Formula number 2, formula number 3 it is. So it will become 1 by phi of a, this one as it is. And you have to apply that previous rule here. So it will become here, it is just like d minus a raised to n only. So it will be x to the power of r divided by factorial r into e raised to ax. So this is the particular integral when this function f of d is 1 by d minus a raised to r phi of d is equals to 1 by phi of a into x to the power of r divided by factorial r e raised to ax. That is, this term becomes 0, this term will not be 0. In such case, you have to use this formula. So this concept will be very clear after solving some examples. So take one note. If x is equals to 1 or constant, then you have to express this constant in terms of e raised to ax only. So here 1 is nothing but e to the power of 0x. Suppose we have here 2 means 2 into e to the power of 0x, like that you have to take here. So generally it is, suppose here we have x is equals to c. X equals to c means we can take c into e to the power of 0x, c as it is, and we can apply the rules for this e to the power of 0x. So now particular integral is 1 by f of d into 1 is equals to 1 by f of d into 1 is e raised to 0x. Here, so therefore here you have to replace d by 0, it will become 1 by f of 0 into 1. So this is the case only when f of 0 is not equal to 0. And if f of 0 becomes 0, then in that case what you have to do is here, this d can be written as here d minus 0. Because you know d minus 0 is d only to the power of n e to the power of 0x. And we know 1 divided by d minus a raised to n e raised to ax is, its particular integral is x to the power of n divided by factorial n into e raised to ax. Here a is 0, no? So it is x to the power of n divided by factorial n into e to the power of 0x, and it is equals to x to the power of n divided by factorial n. And note 3, if x is equals to sin hyperbolic x or cos hyperbolic x, then we shall use the previous formulas only, f1 and f2. First you have to express this sin hyperbolic x in terms of exponential function, that is sin hyperbolic x equals to e raised to x minus e raised to minus x divided by 2, and cos hyperbolic x is equals to cos hyperbolic x equals to e raised to x plus e raised to minus x divided by 2. And use the same previous formulas only. You know how to find particular integral when x is e raised to ax or e raised to minus ax. So next is particular integral when x is sin ax or cos ax. This is very important. So that is, here also we have two cases. So case 1, when f of d can be expressed as phi of d square and phi of minus a square is not equal to 0, then we shall use this formula. That is, here f of d can be expressed in terms of only d square, phi of d square. Let us see how we have to simplify this one. Particular integral equals to 1 by f of d of sin ax is equals to 1 by phi of d square. This function should be completely in the form of d square only of sin ax. In that case, you just replace d square by minus a square, not minus a whole square. That is, d square equals to minus a square and sin ax. Take this one as fifth formula, third formula. Similarly, a particular integral of 1 by f of d of cos ax is equals to 1 by phi of d square cos ax is equals to, here also to replace d square by minus a square into cos ax, and take this one as fourth formula. These two formulas can be applied only when f of phi of minus a square is not equals to 0. Take one note. If f of d contains odd powers, so if it is t square, then we can have d square. If it is d4, then we can take this one as d square whole square. If it has odd powers like 5, like d cube, d raised to 5, d raised to 7, etc. In that case, what we have to do is, here we have to take phi of d equals to phi 1 d square plus remaining terms plus d of phi 2 d square, etc. So where this phi 1 minus a square is not equal to 0 and phi 2 minus a square is also not equal to 0. After expressing in this form, then also it should not be equal to 0. Phi of a square and phi 1 a square and phi 2 minus a square is not equal to 0. So that is, particular integral is 1 by f of d sin ax is equals to, this is the case when d is odd powers. That is 1 by phi 1 d square plus d into phi 2 d square. Here also you have to express this one in terms of d square only. So then only we can replace d square by minus a square. So it will become 1 by phi of minus a square plus this will be phi 1 of minus a square. This will be phi 2 of minus a square. By using this formula 4f4, as we have done, as we have studied here, formula 4 here. That is, d square is replaced by minus a square. So now particular integral equals to, here it is in the form of p plus d into q. This will be 1 by p plus q into d sin ax, where p is phi 1 of minus a square and q is phi 2 of minus a square. So now again here also we have d. No, we have to express this d in terms of d square. For that you have to multiply and divide by conjugate of this p minus qd. You have to multiply and divide. Then it will become, numerator is as it is, p minus qd, and denominator becomes here a plus b into a minus b is a square minus b square, p square minus q square d square, it will be sin ax. So now it is p minus q into d, 1 divided by p square minus q square. Here again same rules, you have to replace d square by minus a square, it will be minus q square a square sin ax. Then after that numerator you have to keep as it is, p minus qd, denominator will be p square plus q square a square, because here minus into minus plus sin ax. So here this 1 by p square plus q square a square is constant, you keep this one as it is. You multiply this p into sin ax minus q into d of sin ax. So that is p sin ax as it is minus q, d means derivative. Differentiation of sin ax is a cos ax. So now particular integral equals to 1 by p square plus q square a square into p of sin ax minus q a cos ax. This is the only method, don't remember this one as a formula. Similarly, particular integral 1 by phi 1 d square plus d of phi 2 d square cos ax can also be evaluated. So that is, you have to replace d square by minus a square. After that again it will be in the form of d. After that you have to multiply and divide by conjugate of its denominator and etc. This you can understand again by solving examples very easily. It is very easy it is. So case 2 is when f of d can be expressed as phi of d square, where phi of minus a square equals to 0. This previous case is when phi of minus a square is not equal to 0. So now what happens if phi of a square minus a square equals to 0? In this case, suppose we have here phi of d square equals to d square plus a square. Then phi of minus a square will becomes 0. Minus a square plus a square becomes 0. In this case we have, its a particular integral is, this derivation is also very lengthy. So I have skipped that derivation because it is not so important. After all the completion of syllabus I will explain that also. So it is 1 by f of d sin ax equals to 1 by d square plus a square sin ax. Then its particular integral is directly minus x by 2a cos ax. Similarly, particular integral of 1 by f of d cos ax is 1 by d square plus a square cos ax. It is equals to x by 2a sin ax. These two are the formulas you have to remember. And we can make this one as very simple. That is, the particular integral is equals to 1 by f of d of sin ax is equals to 1 by d square plus a square of sin ax. So here what you have to remember is x divided by 2 into integration of sin ax. Here we know sin ax, integration of sin ax is minus a cos ax. So you will get this formula. So it is easy to remember, and take this one as fifth formula. And similarly, particular integral of 1 by d square plus a square cos ax is equals to x by 2 into integration of cos ax. This you will get a sin ax, that is f6. So in this session we studied how many formulas? We studied 6 formulas. We will study examples on these formulas in the next session. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you.